Everyone, this is the memory camp. Making a long overdue video on my Prius car camping setup. I've had some requests to make this, so I'm just gonna kind of start with some bare bones. Typically I'm camping with 2 people, my wife, myself, and the dog. The dog's a mini Australian Shepherd, 40 pounds. The back seats are folded down, and they're folded down to create a flat surface, and then you can scoot the front seats up. You can create little plywood shelving, you can do Tupperware shelving, basically to equalize the level to lay flat. I've seen people do air mattresses, you can do real mattresses, you can just do comforters and so forth, sleeping pads. What I actually use is just some stuff I got at the store. It's memory foam type with a tarp around it, and that's just a quick easy fix to get some cushioning under. And then I actually put my sleeping pad, a thermarest, and then lay my sleeping bag over it, which is more than enough comfort and gets you a great night's sleep. So typically one person is going to be left side, one on the right side, and I'll show you how you can set that up with a sleeping bag and everything. I'll kind of show you how much room you have in a second. And then we're back. As you can see now that I've actually set up the sleeping bag in this, that's a full adult male sleeping bag. Obviously the other person will be lying adjacent here. This does fit myself, 5'10", 160 pounds. It definitely fit someone even bigger. It does have probably room enough for, I'd say, someone about 6'2", 6'3", and that's just with the Prius length. Now obviously you can make extensions and different things, and plenty of room. And what's nice is that you get shade and protection from the elements. So if you are camping, car camping, if you're kind of stealth camping, backcountry camping, something like that, and you need a home base, you know, worst comes to worst, you can always find refuge in your car, which is nice. You can turn on the heat, you can turn on the AC, you can charge your devices and so forth. And so that's why I like it as a basic car camping home base situation. Underneath the hatch here, you can see we have plenty of tools, and have built a custom table. I got my table legs down in here. You could also use trekking poles. You know, you just have to be creative and make variations of things, but you can definitely do it. So what I'm going to do is take out the poles and show the extension table next. So as you can see right here, we have just a piece of plywood, and what I've done is I've customized different table settings for it, so you can basically screw on adjustable table legs. And then if you notice on this side, you actually have holes right here, 1 and 2, so you can adjust the lengths pretty easily. Now this plywood actually goes underneath this tarp when I lay it flat, and that way when I'm traveling, it's out of the way and it's not giving me any trouble. I'm going to pop out my adjustable table legs, and these are adjustable. You can kind of unscrew them and create longer lengths, shorter lengths. You'll screw them on to the brackets in the plywood. I've kind of played around with a couple different designs with this. I'm still experimenting now. I'll show you the table here. These are easy. You screw them right in, like so. Pop that on its side, and I've got it carabined to the car, so I'm going to show you that next. These are the carabiners, and these are just attached to the rivet system here inside the Prius. So that's stationary on the Prius. You clip these in, and there's one on each side, and then the table will be adjusted through these carabiners here, and then you can adjust the table legs to lay flat. Have your table screwed on, or your leg screwed on. Just going to take the table leg so, and just lay it flat like this. Table legs are going to be adjusted, but I'm going to go ahead and clip this on to the carabiners first. So I'm going to go ahead and scrunch this up. And I've got my markings over here. One hole here, one hole here. So all I really have to do is kind of line it up, clip underneath the table, and then I can clip it to the Prius. So that one's clipped. Next one. To level it out, I'm just going to go ahead and adjust these legs. Now it's nice and level and solid. So go ahead, come here. See that this will actually hold a pretty good amount of weight. She's 40 pounds. This is the extension too, so if she's actually sleeping with us, this is what we use for her. We'll put a dog bed down in here, and that way she can kind of lay down. Got an actual table which you can eat, cook, clean. You can set up a whole meal. This definitely would fit 2 to 3, maybe even 4 people, honestly. And you have plenty of room. And remember, this is the adjustable table, so I can lengthen this out, or I can bring it in tighter, just depending on what you want. And it's definitely solid, you know, it's not wobbly at all, so it doesn't move at all. So you can put a tablecloth on here, and you know, get your whole kitchen, which is really nice if you're at a car camping site or a more secluded spot that might not have a picnic table or any different amenities. So you're right here in the car. So here's another angle of the table from inside the Prius. Again, you can set this up for your meal station or an extension for a sleep situation if you need a little bit more leg room, or if you are traveling with an animal. This could be a nice platform for it to be able to sleep on. And it's nice and secure. Everything's going to be stored inside the Prius. Again, this plywood is going to be laid under here flat, and then you'll have the table legs and so forth that will be stored inside the trunk compartment. A couple more essential items that I like to bring with me for the car camping. Mosquito net, a bigger one. This one's a single, but the bigger the better. I'll explain that in a little bit. A shower. This is a 5-gallon camp shower. A big gripped carabiner, and then actual shower mat, which you can pick up at any sporting goods, camp store, Walmart. This is all going to be stored underneath the Prius compartment. So obviously the shower is kind of self-explanatory. What I'm going to do is I'll take this carabiner and clip it to the actual trunk clip here. So you can see that just kind of hangs freestyle there. And the bath mat itself, just what it is, it's a bath mat. So I'm going to go ahead and unfold it down like this, and then you have it located there, and then the actual camp shower. Now this, you can use different things. You can actually use a camp shower, you can use a gallon jug turned upside down, you can use a water bladder. I've actually used a couple different things. Some things work better than others, but this has a hole right here which you can actually clip to the carabiner here. So I'm going to go ahead and clip that in there. So the shower is now hooked up. You can kind of see it swaying in the breeze there. There's no water in this, so I'm not going to give you an example of the actual shower itself, but you can kind of see the bath mat down below. I have the shower up here. This camp shower is pretty cool because you can actually fill it with water, let it bake in the sun, and it will give you some warm water. And it has this sprocket here and this adjustable clip which will give you heavier flow or clip it off altogether, so you don't have to waste any water, which is nice. This one's a 5-gallon to 15 minutes, so that's kind of nice. I do have an alternative, which is a water bladder, and the water bladder one works really well as well. And you can see I've moved the table over there, so you can actually leave the table up and take a shower or clean dishes like this. So that's another idea. I mean, any necessary use for water you can kind of utilize that shower for. So now I'm going to be talking about the bug net and what I use this bug net for. If you've seen any other Prius camping videos, you're going to know that there's always an issue with airflow and getting the correct ventilation, also protection from bugs. A lot of people use the side mirrors, or excuse me, the side windows, and put screens in them and try to get some type of airflow and bug protection. But what I've realized is that's kind of hit or miss, depending on the weather, depending if it's raining, depending on how hot it is. Always something that's going to kind of irritate you. Either it gets really stuffy, or water's dripping in, or it's a little too cold and so forth. So I've came up with a really great alternative. I haven't seen it on any other videos, so I'm just going to go ahead and show you the example. So this is how I'd be sleeping. If you can imagine, the hatch is up, I've got the sleeping bag set up, the sleeping pad set up, and now what I'm going to do is utilize this bug net. So again, this is a bigger bug net, just a camping net, maybe $10 or so. You can use white, black, whatever color you'd like. And I'm going to unravel this around this top hatch. You're going to drape it and then secure it underneath the Prius, and it's going to create almost like a mesh tent. I'm going to set it up and check in with you in a sec. So now you can actually see that it's set up. I haven't secured it, and it creates a barrier from the actual inside of the car. Now what you're going to do is take the sides here, and this will have a lot of slack to it. You kind of start draping it, and you secure it down underneath the wheel well here. So once it's secured on this wheel well, you'll move over and do the same thing over here, and this will actually kind of seal it shut from any gaps or holes. And then you can see it's nice and secure, and you've got a huge panel of airflow. Now you can set this up with the table as well. So if you can imagine the table sticking out a little bit more, you just kind of clip it underneath the table, and that's going to give you a different overall feel. And this is actually really baggy, so you have room. You can easily access underneath it. You can literally just pull this up and get right back into the car, and when I'm done, just kind of secure it again. What's nice too is this leaves the doors able to be utilized, so you don't have to mess with any type of screen on the window to access the inside. Come and go as you please at the side doors. Now this you can actually drape down as well, so put this in there a little bit better. And then you could bring this down if you want, so the hatch can be shut down if you want a little bit more coverage from the rain. If you wanted to keep a little bit more heat in there and so forth, you can do that and then secure it down at the bottom. Now you'll always have a little bit of slack, which is good. That way you're not gonna have any type of tears and whatnot. But this is, I found, the best solution for the temperature and the actual bugs. And then actually just leave it kind of like chilling if you're just kind of relaxing, keep the bugs out.